So when we look at rhetorical qualities, we want to look at definitions. What do you do? How would you define something? What do we look at? Share definitions. We look at there's some elements in the definition we want to consider. What kind of things might we consider? We want to look at where words come from. Where did the word come from? Do you know? Do the research where your name came from? Especially biblical. Son of David. So, in the line of David, it's important to know. Molly is Irish, and so is Laura, but I don't really know what those people do. They go to Mary. Okay, so there's versions of Mary. Rebecca is biblical. It means the ensnarer. But bears means color. I like that one. I mean color. And it also means bear. It means one who speaks God. So it's an ancient system that speaks on something God takes you to inspire others. All right, so let's look at writing and definition. We already did this one. We looked at the meaning of truth, right? So that was a definition essay. It's a different use of a definition essay, but that was in 2008. I realize that all seems that long ago. Yet, Wikipedia still uses where it's been published. Those criteria are still the criteria for Wikipedia. So we can still manipulate the truth by how many times the make. We don't like that. That's not good. So, how do we define truth? If we didn't read that essay, how do we define truth? What is truth? So, how do we prove? Is truth fact? Is truth variable? So in our Constitution, we say we hold these truths to be self-evident. That means these truths, they just exist. This is. And so we establish this is a truth. All men are created equal. That's a truth. You ever deal with in a math class where you have a truth, where you have to write the main idea and then the math equation that proves that idea? So truths are truth. So what are we going to do with a truth if we don't agree? It's just usually with this one because the tedious decided truthful how often it was said. I'm thinking, how often did you say that? Have you ever gone on a rant or something? Or that you can convince somebody the more you say something, the more they're going to believe you. I say it often enough to finally believe me. Well, yeah, we use that. Body uses that. Okay, so we're going to look at truth and definition. Because it's a little bit difficult to do a truth essay or a definition essay and think about a piece. What's going to be my piece? Garfinkel's Thesis. The title was Wikipedia and the Meaning of Truth. It's trying to tell us what was the significance of the subject matter, what was significant for his essay. Absolutely. The meaning of truth that Wikipedia has promoted is not the meaning of truth that people shared and believe they still share. So when they look at Wikipedia, they're looking for truth from their perception of truth. And they're getting truth from Wikipedia's definition. How many times do you think that? So he's concerned. And he's going to talk about that subject matter, and he's very concerned about it. It is definitely a roadmap for the paper, what to expect. So we know when he says Wikipedia and the meaning of truth, that paper is going to be about Wikipedia's interpretation. So we have a nice guide. Which way am I turning? I know which way I'm going to be turning here. So the subject will be truth and definition. The method to follow it is how Wikipedia applies it. I claim that others might dispute. Who would disagree with them? The people at Wikipedia think their method is good. Why? Because it's what they believe, so it's truth belief. Is truth what I believe, or is truth fact? Truth should be fact. But truth is also what I believe. So if you're in a court and they ask you a question, and you say, I believe this to be true. Because there's a difference in I know this to be true. Talk about saturation levels in red with thickness. That's a not verifiable truth. Or I can have an interpretation of truth, especially when you do eyewitness. Because someone will say, well, I saw him. I thought it was fake. Is that a true statement? It was a true statement that I thought it was fake. It's a true statement that it's fake. Thought that was there. So I can say, truthfully, I thought it was fake. I can't truthfully say it was. But you will be asked, of course, to do it. It's much better to say, well, thought, I believe. And Wikipedia definitely wants to dispute his claim because they like his system. Much easier to define truth that comes from the public than to figure out who it best. That's a larger issue. You have to pay people money to figure out stuff. So usually that thesis is going to be in your first paragraph to present that argument to the reader. The argument doesn't mean I'm fussing with somebody, but it's what I'm proving, what I want to prove. And I do like this one. How do I know if I strong? Do I answer a question? If I take a position others might challenge or oppose, need to take a position. If it's just a summary, we hold these truths to be self-evident. Let's take the position that all men are created and none are proven. So I don't want to say that this document is about X. Some summary. I don't want to read the summary. Does it? No, I like this thinking. So what? Is it making readers care about reading? Now, sometimes we do write this commitment with questions. A lot of writing is you're taking that world history test, and it says, what were the three causes of the Civil War? You're going to say the three causes of the Civil War were, and there's no so what. The reason for writing is to answer that question. Doing a report, if that report is an analysis, is an update on actions that were taken, you don't need so what. But if that report needs to justify actions, or if that report needs to analyze actions, what was the result, then you do need to so what. You want them to think. Why did you do this? Did I go wandering? I go, let's start here and be distracted. That's interesting. And end up over here, get lost in the weeds. So having that blueprint, where am I going with this, is important. So I had years ago a test. It was one question. Right, 2.5 hours to write for one statement. And it had begun. I'm writing, I could listen. And I'm writing, I'm figuring out, I am proving the opposite of traditional idea. And I have a 2-hour window, and I've got to finish. So once I figured out I was proving the opposite of the position, I kept on writing. I took my last 15 minutes to go rewrite my presentation to change my position. Because I had gone that direction and figured out, I proved something else. There's nothing wrong with it. Everything is a wonderful thing with computers. You have to change. What's so wonderful about the computer is resume, application. You can tailor that to a specific audience. If you're writing scholarship application and one bank, and they want to focus on the user life, then you tailor that scholarship application. Emphasize what to do with your life. If one to a organization that helps single parent, then you want to tailor, make that same essay that focus on the area about single parent. How and why? How, why? So we know from Wikipedia and the proof, how Wikipedia defines truth, and we kind of know why. We got the history of Newpedia. Did you know about Newpedia before you read an article? Newpedia. And then I use Encyclopedia Britannica because they are a research, so if it's fact-based, they research it, and it's not how many times it's published. So, but you have to pay for Encyclopedia Britannica, or you have to enter it through the library. If you go to the ACMX library, and then enter Encyclopedia Britannica. That's something to keep in mind if you want to look things up. But when you Google, the first thing that comes up is going to be your Wikipedia. So let's look at this one. The North and South fought the Civil War for many reasons, some of which were the same and some different. So that's a generic construction. So we have generic, and I don't know what it's going to be about. What reasons, what was same about them, what was different. So if this is a comparison and contrast, what's the easiest thing to do to get your mind going? And then when we did the two stories, if we do that, little Venn diagram, let's see the plot, second grade, oh, fourth grade, fourth grade. And that Venn diagram, when you write the same and different, that organizes it, gives you something to write from, and lets you think that you're putting those ideas in. This is one form of mind mapping. And this is something that's good visual that separates them. It's fine. I'm more an outline person, but this is just another form of outlining. How you look at it. I also am looking at like this, and then draws that arrow, and does this, and draws an arrow back here and add. So sometimes people say, I'm thinking from there to here. So if I wanted to do something, instead of the North and South talking to the reason, some was for the same, some different. While both the North and South fought the Civil War over the issue of slavery, that's by saying the North fought for moral reasons against slavery, while the South fought to preserve its own institutions, slavery. Now, this is a text example because the North said that slavery was immoral, but it was immoral to keep people as slaves. The South fought to preserve its institution, but I would probably say this. I'm not sure how many people didn't see African Americans as people in the South, but I am fairly certain that it was an huge economic impact to lose your production. And so I don't think they looked at the moral or immoral implications. They looked at the economic. And so this one we revised, and we go from generic to better to, while both Northern and Southerners believe they fought against tyranny and oppression, Northerners focused on the oppression of slaves, while Southerners defended their own right to self-govern. This is a different aspect. It's not about the economy. When it's mentioning institution, it's mentioning the right to self-govern. And if you in your classes, when you take those over the Civil War, the South wrote Articles of the Confederacy. And one aspect of the Articles of Confederacy was, we have the right to self-govern. You don't have the right to impose your system on us. So let's write about your favorite book. Favorite book. You don't currently have a favorite book. What's your favorite book? A Year in the Day. Okay. So I love The Year in the Day. Yeah? What do you love about it? It's a great book. What makes it great? So we're still refining. What makes it great? It's what I want to focus on. I'll have students say, I want to write on X. X is huge. So I need you to focus on, instead of all of this X, maybe you write on this bit of X. So this is too much to say anything specific. And that's the idea about writing. We're going to write, let's be specific. Okay. So in Huckleberry Finn, Mark Twain developed a contrast between life on the river and life on the shore. So now I know I'm in a rhetorical mode, comparison and contrast. I'm still going to be talking about a book, and I'm going to compare how Twain described life on the river and life on shore. If I want to make that further, through its contrasting river and shore scenes, Twain's Huckleberry Finn suggests that to find the true expression of American democratic ideals, one must leave civilized society and go back to nature. That gives me a much firmer, where am I going? I'm going to look at civilized society and I'm going to contrast that with back then. So where do we see civilized society and where do we see back then? Okay, so here's an example of the type of essay I want y'all to write for definition. And the elements, I have headings here, but these are not true headings. I don't want to see them in the essay. They're just to say this paragraph now is beyond. So here's a essay on diesel and then and now. This is the history of the word then and now. So this is on where the word came from, what the word has. This diesel is italicized. This time diesel is close to the consistent. Both of those are correct. It's just talking about the word and not using the word. Fill my car up with people. I could do that. Don't fill a regular car up with people. Do that. But still, either be, if I'm talking about the word diesel, I'm going to underline that. If I'm handwriting, completely close, talking, I'm going to put the paper mark for the minute talk. So that's a mechanics issue with this essay. The term diesel has changed in meaning over time. Originally, it was a reference to a type of engine that could use lots of fuel. So this is not a direct quotation, right? How would you know it was a direct quotation? You would have used quotation marks around it. So this is still crediting that I didn't get this information. It's not out of my head. It's from a resource. So I got that information from Cambridge Online Dictionary. So today the term may refer to a German alternative rock band or a modern alternative clothing company. Although the term is most associated with the type of engine, people may wonder where the engine got its name. So this is the segue into where the engine got its name, how it came to be. We begin. We know this essay is going to be about diesel. Where did diesel come from? We don't even talk about land diesel or wind diesel. There's an actor that's land diesel. I don't understand again. So this is my transition phrase, my transition sentence that brings me. Where did it come from? The diesel engine is actually made for a person. Rudolf Diesel was a German inventor who created a compression ignition engine in the late 1800s. That's how old they are. He did not even use diesel fuel engine. So a couple of years ago, there was a huge focus on biodiesel, and people would make biodiesel. They would go to area restaurants, gather the oil, and make diesel using those oil. So his original use was peanut oil. Again, we know this is from Thesis.com, and again, it's not a direct quote, but he didn't know that. So whoever wrote this essay said, I didn't know this, I got this information from him, even if I didn't use their words. In fact, the petroleum fuel used as diesel today is a change from distillate, a reference to the waste fuel, to diesel, because the waste fuel was being used in diesel engines. So they named it for the person. How many things are named for a person? Quite a lot. Lots of companies, Chevrolet, that company was named for a person whose last name is Chevrolet. So quite often something comes into being because it was named for a person. And some people, theirs, are named for a function. Colors. So many things that we deal with. I have a watch on. Watches were first called chronometers. You meant a time, but when people first got them, they kept looking at them. They kept watching them, and so we now have here's a watch instead of my chronometer. So if you say, you have a chronometer, you finish it in saying, now see your chronometer, or that's a nice chronometer. I don't know what we would call an Apple Watch or a Fitbit, because they have several different options. So we had waste fuel that became diesel because it used to be. This diesel patented his engine in 1892, and his last name was used to describe his engine in 1894 in a German manual. Although the word diesel came from diesel's last name, his name had a meaning in German. So your name probably has a meaning. What was the meaning in German? So now we're going to go into that by transition center, moving origin of meaning, etymology. Where did that name come from? There's an Oxford Dictionary of American surnames. Diesel as a last name is from Southern Germany and meant people or race. But some people think it is an abbreviation of science, which is the German form of math. If that's it, it means different stuff. And then there's this little segment on the back. People who use insulin use it as a fuel, not doing this engine is indeed a different stock. If this student had done a different essay, he could have talked about the impact of the diesel on World War I and World War II. It truly affected the ability to go across country. Diesel engines, if you ever rode a school bus, they still on diesel engines. And that fact that you can make biodiesel in your backyard, a little bit of lye, a few other chemicals to make it, means that people can make fuel that will get them down the road. Can't make gasoline in the back. So that could people that are off grid, that live off grid, they have a diesel generator, and biodiesel run their diesel generator to run whatever. So this essay could have gone in many different directions. This student. Now, how did the work change? The application of diesel changed throughout history. The popularity of the diesel engine increased in World War I and World War II because the engine was adaptable. Today, the word diesel is used as modifiers such as biodiesel or diesel created from waste oil, etc. Apparently, the product has come back to the full circle to the original peanut oil form Rudolph introduced and he created for diesel. Although the popularity of diesel engines waned, regular wheels and rail companies for alternative fuels because of diesel had become. And lots of vehicles in Europe. It was very, if you know Volkswagen, the Volkswagen has the diesel version of both of its own. Diesel jet, the diesel side. So now I'm going, diesel is a popular term, and I want to look at diesel, how popular it is. So look at the frequency of use. Simply typing the term diesel and search bar in Google will result in about 929 million results. Gasoline earns about 120 million results. Interesting. That's a lot. I would have thought gasoline would have gotten more hits than diesel. You need to check this out and see if this is true today. I don't. Most of the being search turns up 22,700,000 results, and the first issue is an advertisement for diesel total. Most of those searches lead one to popular culture references to diesel. However, diesel has applications to the scholarly world too. So now we're going to see the transition to go down and look at the reference room. A search for the AHNA virtual library database results in 19 entries that range from Vin Diesel, movie, Cast 5, to do-it-yourself guide on creating biodiesel. Janet Adamovich, novel series based around a detective named Lizzie, apparently features a character named Diesel. So this shows you the reader that read that novel, but that the reader saw the entry, the writer saw the entry, and so since I didn't read it, I can't say does. I can put in apparently. Seems which is a reference base ProQuest. One has 1,663,796 results and quite a few library ebooks. The effects of diesel are the focus of our diesel exhaust ventilation enhances airway hyperresponsiveness in mice. And response characteristics of tree germination and ceiling growth of water under diesel stress. The use of diesel can impact wildlife. And you could have gone anywhere. Like when that student pulled up the diesel and saw all the articles, there might have been a diesel effect in medicine. There might have been a diesel effect on the economy of Japan, and that student could have focused on those two articles. What the student focused on, whatever drew the student to that's interesting in that. Obviously, you can't name every article, which is how many we have. Or you might pick out the ebook and focus on that. So, about time to wrap this up. From originating is the last name of the inventor, the first name, the pixel character. That's a pretty name of the inventor, first name of that character in the Janet the Evolution book, the chosen last names of actors who want to sound tough. Vin Diesel, real name is Mark Sinclair. The term diesel has gone through many application stages. In fact, it even features in the Urban Dictionary as muscular or strong. There's a term. That's diesel. One wonders what we don't think we can think of as unique now. Until we take it. So that one happened to come from diesel.